Hi friends, welcome back to Spoonful. My name is Lauren and I'm out here trying to get back into the garden. I came out for a few moments and then it started raining and I had to take off running. So I don't know if you guys are having problems with your tomatoes like I am, that they are not ripening on the vine. They're staying green longer and they're sort of getting I don't even see if they're even getting soft. So what I'm going to do is pick as many as possible and probably pick a couple more collard greens, and I'll show you what else is growing out here. And there you have it, this week's bountiful harvest of basil, overripe cucumbers, a little bit of green beans, summer squash, and onions. The first thing we're going to do is get some pesto made. I've shown that before. But one of the main reasons why we love to make pesto is not only just for pasta and tomato replacements, it's for pizza. And that's exactly what we love to have for dinner. So this is gluten-free pizza crust from Trader Joe's. It's very cheap. And then we just whip out homemade pesto. So I saved half of it for this dinner. The other half of the pesto I made went right into the freezer for this winter. Make sure you guys are enjoying your harvest. Don't just put it up and have nothing to eat right now. Get that stuff on the table that day and in the freezer or jars for the future. Top hubby's pizza off with some mozzarella and some pepperoni, and then of course we love to add other toppings including mushrooms, but today we just had some simple white onions that were added right to the top. And there we have it, basil pizza. It was so good. And so we will do this at least once a month. So my goal is to definitely have that many jars in the freezer of pesto. There was not enough green beans in this particular picking to jar them up. So what I decided to do on day 5 was to go ahead and just give them a quick blanch and then get them in a freezer bag. I thought I preserved enough green bean plants this year to have a large harvest, and I did not. So I believe I might just have to pick up some green beans from our local farmer again. I have no problem. He grows an excellent variety that we will can up and jar up. So on this day, I'm just going to get these green beans all cut up and assess later on, do we need to plant some more green beans or just get it from our lovely farmer. These will go into a freezer bag, right into the freezer, and I'll keep adding to it for the rest of the summer. On this day, we headed over to the farmer's stand on day 6 and picked up a bunch of nectarines. I believe it's about 6 in a bag, 3 whites, 3 yellows. First variety of apples are in now. And then I grabbed 2 more summer squash so I could fry up for a meal, including the 2 from our garden, and some corn. On this day, I visited a friend at church and she passed out eggs from her lovely hens. So day 7, I was able to get 12.5 unwashed fresh eggs. So I checked them all out and make sure any of them were dirty, and I separated those, gave them a quick wipe down on a spot. You can see that little black spot. And water glassing eggs, you're going to need about 1 ounce of pickling lime, so I'm using a food scale, and a quart of water. So I am using filtered water because our city does have chlorine in its water. Make sure that you use this process accordingly. If you need a resource, I'll put a great one below so you can learn all about water glassing eggs. I was able to get 16 eggs in this half-gallon jar. Let's move on to the herbs that I picked earlier in the week. I dried out some mint, which I'm going to go ahead and take the leaves right off the stem. On day 8, it was much easier. They had dried out over the past 3-4 days. And what we do is we actually just put these mint leaves right into a tea ball, pour hot water over it, and we have tea. Next, I'm going to take all the thyme off the stems. Those stems are not great to bite down into in soups and stews and recipes, so make sure that you take all the little leaves off. There are special tools out there for these kind of things, guys. Use your fingers. Now, one of our favorite things to make is basil, lemon, thyme seasoning. So this winter I saved lemon rind. That's what's in that jar with salt. I'm going to go ahead and dump that into the blender. And I'm going to add the thyme and the basil from our garden and get this blended up. This is my 3rd summer of a concoction I made up that my mother has fallen in love with. That was her jar I just showed you, and she made sure that I did not leave her house without that. She was like, you have to make some more this year. And then asked and requested I make a 2nd jar before the season is over. I will definitely do that for my mother. And so there we have it. A nice big batch of lemon, basil, thyme, and then the rest of the thyme I place in a small jar. Now, earlier in the summer, pretty much around the middle of June, end of June, I saved all that rosemary. I'm going to take the time to make rosemary salt. This is one of our favorite seasonings when it comes to meat. Some dumping and a little bit of black pepper. If you have white pepper, that'll taste even better, but I'm all out. Rosemary and salt. We'll go ahead and give that a blend also. So I'm going to go ahead and get that into a jar. So this rosemary salt and the basil, lemon, thyme salt is so important for our family because my husband cannot consume nightshades. And we need flavoring in our food just as much as anyone. So to make these pre-made seasoned salts and just sprinkle it on food makes cooking so much easier. This rosemary seasoning we love on lamb, and then the basil thyme we have done with seafood, we have done with poultry like chicken and turkey. It makes an excellent seasoning and cream sauce too, which we eat quite a bit of and less tomato sauce. So that's why we do these kind of seasonings. I'm going to put the ingredients in the description box below, just in case you guys are just like us, either nightshade free or just looking for something different to do with your herbs. All right, on to the next. Day 10 is when we were able to get our half share of pork from the farmer. We were able to swing by and grab it as soon as they gave us a call. I headed over to my parents because we were splitting this half a pig with my parents, taking home about a fourth. We picked up so much meat and I was trying to sort it out, from chops to hams to ground pork for sausages. I was able to select exactly what we were looking for with a few choices. Have you guys done this before? I'll definitely do a video. We round the day out with eating and dancing and playing around outside. It's such a joy to watch my family enter this lifestyle, this homesteading lifestyle that my great-grandparents knew no different. It was their life, and to do it right there at their home. So I hope to see you guys next week as we are taking off and heading into a brand new week. Grab your drinks, get out into your garden, get some fresh air. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for dropping by.